sometimes I see this when somebody's blood pressure is extremely low and it's been low for a long time, and you're not getting enough blood perfusion to the brain, which eventually causes damage to the lungs. And one thing that we did pick up is that she did have a UTI, but we're also going to look at her cardiac function with an echocardiogram and see if that was possibly like she had a really, really weak heart that's not causing enough blood flow to go to her brain. When I see something like this, I'll be perfectly honest with you, she's gonna, her neurologic prognosis is pretty poor, okay? Reason being is you're affecting both sides of the brain and it's pretty extensive, okay? So when I see something like that, if we want to take all measures, and this is honestly up to you and your family and whatever you would like to do, she's going to need to be like in a long-term care facility. She's probably going to need to get a tracheostomy tube and a feeding tube. That's where she's headed if we continue all measures.
We want to know which ambulance is responsible for her brain damage because they dropped her.
They dropped her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what we want to know.
I don't know if it's because I'll be honest with you, sir, I don't think it's from the bleed itself that she has here.
Yeah.
That's
but
not.
They sent her, the old folks home, sent her to, they were supposed to send her to Parkview Hospital for the stroke. And then on the way there, the ambulance dropped them back. So that's what they told us.
She's got a head injury.
Yeah, she has a head injury. Yeah.
I see. This is where her head injury is, okay? So this is the bleed that she has here.
Is it the black?
So it's actually, can you kind of see this like kind of measure right here? Kind of this white. That's the bleed. And to be honest with you, we deal with this a lot, but that's not why she's having the issue. Her issue
It's because of stroke.
is the stroke.
Yeah. She was in the hospital 2.5 months ago because she caught pneumonia and had a small stroke. So this is leading there. She had sepsis in her blood. She had fluid in her lung. She had a blood blister on her foot. And she was not eating. And they sent her to the hospital because her heart rate and her oxygen was dropping.
Okay. I'm looking at this type of stroke pattern that I'm seeing, when I see something like this, it's usually due to lack of blood flow that's going on to the brain. Because I know there's no clots. We're not picking up any clots, right? There's no clots in the brain itself. And then looking at the pattern itself, when I see something like this, I see this usually when somebody doesn't have enough blood flow going to their brain. Or they have a lot of lack of oxygen to the brain itself. I think it's a little bit of a mixture of both, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think most of it is blood perfusion. So I think her blood pressure was really low, possibly because she was septic, meaning like her blood pressure was low because she was sick. And her blood pressure, when you get sick, your blood pressure drops, right? And if you don't get enough blood perfusion to the brain, or if you have a weaker heart, this can happen. I'm looking at the echocardiogram, and I want to look into that itself because let's say your heart is not pumping as well as efficiently as we want it to. On top of somebody whose blood pressure is low, can cause something like this. That is my theory at this point, okay? But whether the theory is there or not, the truth of the matter is, what is the prognosis, right? And when I see something like this on the MRI of the brain, I'll be honest with you, it's extensive care, okay? It's extensive care. More than likely, it's going to be more like a persistent kind of vegetative state. Not to say that you can't recover over time a little bit, but there's going to be damage for her for the rest of her life. There's no doubt about it. Okay? But definitely going to need extensive care. She won't be ever back to where she was. And it's not like you have to make these choices now or anything like that, but since you're the primary decision maker, it's something that I want you to kind of just mull out in your head a little bit and just see what would she want? What would she want for her the rest of her life? Would she want to be in that, direction? Obviously, we're not here to push you one way or another.
No, I've been in that situation where they did that to me.
Yeah. But looking at this, perfectly honest with you, it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage to the brain.
Yeah, but we want to know, what I'm trying to say is what we want to know. Why did the ambulance drop her on the back of her head?
I don't know.
That's what, like, we wanna know who that is for previous.
I see, I see.
Like, to be honest, like, I already know about that.
Mhm.
I don't give two fucks about that. I wanna know who's responsible for that.
As far as this?
No,
This,
no.
the stroke itself, I doubt it's,
not the
yeah.
stroke.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about when she looked
Okay.
back her head.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I mean, from what I just saw was this, so. They asked us to come on board because of what we're seeing in the brain itself, yeah. They did an EEG on her too as well, just to see like her brainwave activity, see if they have any seizures or anything like that. It's not seizures, but her brainwave activity is very slow, which understandably makes sense. That's kind of what we're seeing.
Has she moved at all?
Not that we've seen, no. I just want to see if she's moving. That's just normal signature. Was she sick before this? Like a couple days before or anything like that? Okay.
But I went to the post-acute before I came here this trip,
Mm-hmm.
and they did notice something was wrong. She just fell off.
Just felt off? Okay. I mean, the one thing that I picked up so far is that she definitely has like a pretty prominent UTI, and I don't know if that was, maybe she had a weaker heart on top of sepsis itself, maybe it could have caused this itself. Be honest with you, the bleed itself is not the thing, it's there, but that heals pretty quickly.
Okay, so it's not bad bleeding.
It's not, the bleeding is not my concern. My concern is the stroke.
Yeah.
That's my concern, because the stroke is extensive.
She had a small stroke at the hospital.
But yeah, this
But
isn't.
this is a
This
really,
is
really bad stroke.
this is humongous.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to sugarcoat it, but it's really really big.
So what do you plan on doing next, right away?
So I mean, at this point, we'll monitor and see how she does over the next couple of days. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, sir. We're heading in one direction, okay? And it's going to be more than likely a trach and the peg tube, okay? If we want to take all measures taken here. She's breathing above the front, she's not breathing that. Not brain dead, but I will say this, okay? Whenever we text or whenever we evaluate somebody from a neurology perspective, we go from two ways, right? We look at the cortical function, right? And then we look at also brainstem function. I know she's not brain dead because she's breathing above the vent. This is our primitive functions, okay? Breathing above the vent, her pupils are reactive, like she has a gag, those kind of things. So your primitive reflexes are there. So you're not technically brain dead at this point. But her cortical function, which is the things that make me you and me, where we're able to kind of respond to pain, that kind of thing, and kind of communicate, that's 100% effective. Okay? That's severe. Okay? That's the issue. So where you're heading is more likely like a vegetative state.
So is what you're saying, like her brain's like a vegetable?
She's gonna be needing like extensive care.
Yeah.
Extensive care, needing obviously help with everything. Okay. And feeding, all that kind of stuff, breathing even, she's gonna probably need that too. Okay. That's kind of where we're headed. So
just even my exam, the one I'm picking up, I know you guys are seeing her kind of move, that's actually something called posturing, okay? So whenever, I don't mean to hurt her, okay? But whenever I do this, okay, see what she does with her arms, it goes like this. That means that there's significant brain damage itself, and pretty much what's kind of working for her right now is just her brain stuff. Okay? So her cortical function, meaning interacting between me and you, that's not there. She's not even reacting to even pain, which is which is the thing that we pick up. Okay? Or we want to try to look. When somebody feels pain, your most primitive reflex is to kind of withdraw your hand, right? That's not what's going on with her. What's happening with her is that whenever I give her anything like that, she kind of extends like this. So that means more than likely, pretty much her brainstem is intact, but her cortical function, meaning the things that make me and you are, it's 100% it's very deconditioned. We're not here to push you one way or another or anything like that, obviously.
No, I know. The thing what's going through my head right now is like, I just can't believe this just happened.
Yeah.
Because like, we were at the hospital 2.5 months ago, and now we're back here again.
Did they ever say that she had a weak heart at all? I'm sorry. Weak heart. Okay. So she has like systolic, like she has like her she doesn't pump her blood as efficiently.
Okay. She's also diabetic.
And she's diabetic. Yeah. So you have that, sepsis, hypotension. We're here if you guys need anything, any other questions or anything like that. Obviously, ICU can talk to you guys about a couple things, but they're probably going to start talking to you about these measures. Okay, I just want to make you aware.
No, I'm aware.
Any questions I can answer for you now?
I have nothing right now.
Okay.
I'm just like still trying to process it.
Yeah, I get you. I'll give you guys some time. Okay.
That was a doctor's appointment.
Just more tests, that's all. More medicine, more tests. What it is, I guess.
Check your sugar.
Well, you never know. I mean, she did go through COVID twice.
She had COVID.
Yeah, twice.
Her eyes just look so swollen.
No, it was at AMR, was the company. I went down there to try to get them to give me an incident number. They wouldn't give me any information.
What the hell?
They didn't want to.
What?
They didn't want to give me any information. They don't. They go, well, we don't really know. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was AMR, and they had, dropped the gurney, so they knew that they had dropped the gurney because they had admitted to it. I got that on tape recorder. You know, so anyway, they said that the AMR guy was the one that